We're going to cover cinematic text effects, smooth camera moves, color tricks, everything you need to instantly level up. Let's get into it. Alright, this one looks like something straight out of a commercial. It's called the Video Inside Text Effect. Basically, your text becomes a window playing video through it. Here are the steps to achieve this. Drag down the default text to a layer below your video. Type your text in a bold font like Montserrat Extra Bold. Make sure your video clip remains selected, go to blending mode and change to darken. Your text should now display your video playing through it. However, in some versions of CapCut, your text might still not be visible. Here is a quick fix. Select the text layer and toggle on background. Now adjust the height and width to cover the entire screen. Now let's add some animation to bring it to life. To recreate the one from the example, for in, select typewriter and adjust the duration to 0.6 seconds. And for out, select sunset and adjust the duration to 0.6 seconds as well. Boom, that's how we do it. Try using slow motion B-roll or time-lapse, it makes it pop. And you've got yourself a pro-looking title sequence, no After Effects required. You've probably seen this in movies. Everything's black and white except one color that just pops. Like in Sin City, where the movie is largely black and white with specific objects or character features like red lips, yellow eyes, or a blue dress isolated in color for dramatic effects. You can do all of that right inside CapCut. Here are the steps. Make sure the clip is selected, move over to Adjust, HSL, select every color and bring down the saturation to 0 except for the color you wish to retain. In this case, I want to keep red. And boom, that's how I do it. Bonus tip, you can also play around with the hue to get a different color. You see, her red dress becomes orange. Use this effect when you want to draw the viewer's attention. It's dramatic, clean, and looks like serious editing work, even though it takes about 30 seconds. Alright, let's talk about transitions, because nothing screams beginner than basic scene changes that feel like speed bumps. The fix? Add some shake. Now let's try that between these two clips right here. Click on transition at the top left corner. There are tons of nice transitions, but let's search for my favorite, shake. Drag the shake effect right on the cut. Adjust the duration to say 0.3 seconds to keep it quick. Transitions make your scene changes feel more intentional. The shake is perfect for fast-paced edits like music videos, sports edits, or any energetic sequence. But if your video is a slow-paced one, you are better off going with a fade or slow white flash. To make our transition even better, let's add a matching sound effect. Click on Audio, search for Camera. Let's add this camera shutter one and make sure the audio waveform matches the position of our transition. Boom! That's it. A less boring scene change. Let's be real. Captions keep people watching, especially on YouTube Shorts where half the viewers watch with the sound off. CapCut's auto caption feature is a game changer. With just a few clicks, you can get professional looking captions all done automatically. Go to Text, Auto Caption, select the language of your audio or let it auto detect. You can choose to have it generate emojis for your captions, but I'll have it off and click on Generate. CapCut will generate the caption automatically. Customize it. Fonts, animations, templates, whatever fits your style. To save time, I prefer to choose from one of the hundreds of templates made available by CapCut. Just tap on Template, choose the one that fits your style. They're mostly pro though. And if you want that viral look, choose a template that uses punchy animations like pop-up or typewriter. It's a small detail, but it makes your video feel fast-paced and professional. This one's fun. Object tracking. It's how editors make text or stickers follow a moving object perfectly, like a name label that follows someone walking. Now, here's how to achieve this in CapCut. Drag a text or sticker to a layer above your video, tap on your text or sticker, select tracking at the top right corner, motion tracking. We adjust this yellow rectangle to cover the person or object you wish to track. Also, reposition your text or sticker where you want it. I prefer to leave the direction at both, scale and distance on, then hit start. Boom, that's how I do it. The text now follows my object. Now it looks advanced, but CapCut makes it super easy. Use it to highlight products, track movement, or add motion callouts in your edits. Pro tip: add a shadow or background behind your text so it stands out. This one's ridiculously simple, but instantly levels up your edit. Cinematic black bars. Here's how to do it. Click on Effects and search for Cinema. Drag the cinema effects to a layer above your video layer, stretch it across your timeline. That's literally it. Just look at the difference. Your footage suddenly looks like a movie trailer. You can use the Y position to reframe in case it cuts out a part of your video that you don't want to be cut out. One of my favorite beginner to pro upgrade. Text behind your subject. You've seen this in travel vlogs and talking head videos where the text looks like it's part of the scene sliding behind the person. Just how to do it in CapCut step by step. Duplicate your clip by holding Alt for Windows or Option for Mac. Click and hold, then drag to a layer above, making sure it aligns perfectly. Select the top clip, go to Video, remove BG, select Auto Removal to remove the background. Select the lower clip and tap on V on your keyboard to disable it, just so we can be sure it's done. Now that we know it's done, let's reactivate it by tapping on V again. Tap on text and drag the default text in between both clips. Type your text and customize it. Boom! That's how I do it. The text sits right behind me. To make it extra clean, add a little shadow. It helps it blend with your footage. And one final thing, add motion to the text to make it even better. To do that, select the text, click on animation, then choose any of the options that fit your video style. Now compare these two, which appears more professional. Next, smooth zooms. This is the difference between a flat, static video and something that feels alive. Nearly every pro YouTuber uses this technique. It's subtle, but it adds rhythm to your videos. Use it in talking head shots, product demo, or to emphasize a reaction. Here's how to create it in CapCut. Tap your clip, drag your playhead to the part where you want the animation to start. Under the video section, Basic, hit that little diamond icon just beside Scale to add a keyframe. Move your playhead to where you want the animation to end, usually 15 to 20 frames ahead. Bump up the scale to around 110%. Play it back. Now you've got a clean zoom in. Reverse it for a zoom out. Pro tip: ease the motion to make it look even more professional. Right click on the clip, click on Show Variable Speed Animation. Select the keyframes, then click on the graph icon and select the cubic ease. This ensures a smoother zoom effect. Just don't go crazy with the zooms, it's not a roller coaster ride. This one's a lifesaver, especially if you're working with clips that feel a bit too still. Because nothing screams beginner edit than completely static footage, unless that was your intention. You can fake camera movement so well that your viewers will swear you used a gimbal, a slider, or even a real camera operator. This technique is very simple. We'll also be using keyframes for this. Here's how it works. Add a keyframe for transform at the beginning of the clip. Slightly increase or decrease the scale, position, or both. Add another keyframe at the end and adjust your parameters to where you want the animation to end. What we just created is a subtle pan, like the camera is drifting from left to right. Also add cubic ease to make this feel more natural. And trust me, that tiny movement adds live emotion and intention to your videos. But let me give you the real secret sauce. Add a touch of camera shake. After creating your slow movement, add a very subtle camera shake effect. Nothing crazy, just enough to mimic the natural imperfections you get when holding a real camera. Now go to Effects, search for camera shake, and drag it down to your timeline. There's a free and pro version. They both work really well. Just set the speed to 3, glow 0, and strength 2. This technique is used everywhere, even in Hollywood. Editors constantly animate still images or static clips to keep things flowing. Combine this with the right color grading and people will think you shot on a cinema camera. Now this next one, you've definitely seen this in documentaries, true crime videos, or cinematic YouTube breakdowns. It's the highlighting effect. The trick editors use to pull your eyes exactly where they want them. Think of moments where the narrator is saying, "Pay attention to this part right here." Then the screen suddenly dims and one area pops out. That's highlighting. In CapCut, you can do this in a few different ways. Take this image for instance. Let's say I want to highlight the last man to the right. Here's how to do it. Duplicate the clip by holding Alt or Option and drag into a layer above. It's essential to make sure they align perfectly. Select the clip below and tap on V to deactivate it. Select the upper clip and click on Mask. I'll go for the rectangle mask. Adjust the rectangle so it covers your subject and add some feathering to make it soft. Now move your playhead to where you want the masking to happen, then click on the diamond button beside mask setting to add a keyframe. Drag your playhead a few frames back, then add another keyframe. On that keyframe, adjust the rectangle such that everyone becomes visible. To add the dim effect, select the lower clip and tap on V to reactivate it. Create 2 keyframes for opacity to match the positions of the keyframes in the upper clip. Select the second keyframe and reduce the opacity to around 30. If you play this, you now get a mask and a dim. To make this better, add cubic ease for both masking and opacity. And boom, we have our highlighting effect. And the best part, if it's a moving object, you can use motion tracking to keep it highlighted. It's how I was able to create the highlighting effect for this van combined with the text motion tracking effect. Just follow the same process to isolate your subject where you want the highlighting to happen. This time around, after creating the mask, under Track Mask, leave the direction at forward and click on Track. This tracks the moving object. You can as well dim the lower clip using keyframes to reduce the opacity to perfect our look. This effect instantly makes your video feel more directed, more intentional, and way more pro. Now let's talk about one of my personal favorites. That documentary style text highlighting you see in true crime videos, tech explainers, and those deep dive documentaries where a specific line is emphasized for impact. It looks complicated, but in CapCut it is actually very simple. Here's how to do it. I want to highlight the title of this newspaper right here. Click on text and drag the default text to a layer above the newspaper. Now type an underscore and keep repeating it until it stretches exactly over the part you want to highlight. This underscore line becomes your highlight bar. Now change the text color to, let's say, yellow. That's a very popular choice for most editors. Now drag your underscore right over the text you want to highlight. Adjust the font size by dragging the corners of the text in the player window. You can choose to add more or reduce from the underscore if needed. Once it's in place, go to Animations and for in, apply the blur right animation. Stretch the animation to around 2 to 3 seconds. It'll give it that smooth sliding highlight review. After that, right-click on the text and create a compound clip. Keep it selected, click on Video and go to Blend and change the blend mode to Multiply. And suddenly, your text looks like it was designed for a high-budget documentary. Simple technique, big payoff. Now we're stepping into real filmmaking territory. If you ever wondered why some videos feel buttery smooth, like every moment just flows into the next without any awkward pauses, it is usually because the editor is using L cuts and J cuts. These are invisible transitions that separate beginner edit from pro-level storytelling. Let me break it down simply. An L cut is when the audio from clip A continues playing while clip B appears on the screen. So visually you've moved on, but the audio pulls you forward. Take the video of this ocean, for instance. A J cut is the opposite. You hear the audio from the next clip before you see it. In this case, the sound of the ocean comes before you actually see the ocean. It's like a gentle preview preparing your viewer's mind for what's coming. To pull off clean J cuts and L cuts in CapCut, you need to separate the audio from the video so they move independently. All you have to do is right-click on the clip and choose Extract Audio. CapCut will drop the audio onto its own layer, and now you can stretch or shift it without affecting the video. Just drag the audio handle of the first clip forward to overlap with the next clip. That's your L cut. Or pull the audio of the next clip backward so it starts early. That's your J cut. And boom, that's how you do it. These cuts make your videos feel more intentional. Finally, the secret sauce that ties everything together, color grading. You can have all the best effects in the world, but if your colors are all over the place, it still feels amateur. Now, this one's a little tricky, especially if you download stock footage from different sources shot on different cameras. A quick workaround would be to drag a filter over your clip and stretch it across the timeline. However, this doesn't match the colors perfectly. Here's how to truly match the colors in CapCut. Click on Adjustment and drag the custom adjustment down to your timeline. Ensure it's on a new layer above all the previous clips on your timeline. Go to Basic, Color Match, then pick a frame from your existing clips you want to match the rest with. Click on OK and adjust the intensity to what works for you. And that's it. 13 awesome CapCut effects that can completely transform your edits. Mix them together and watch your edits go from beginner to pro. If this video helped you out, hit the like button and subscribe because I've got way more CapCut tricks coming your way. See you in the next one.